All right, everybody, circle up.
From Wish TV.
Here we go.
Indie Style is Indie's only live local lifestyle program.
Everything they do is great.
You're part of it.
Talk about things that I want to know about.
Where life and style meet.
Oh, this is great.
Really great energy.
Really having a wonderful time.
The best.
I love it. Everything about him's great.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the big announcement you've all been waiting for.
This is the Indie Style Podcast.
All right, let's get right to it.
On the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Hey, I'm Randy Hollis here, and welcome to the Indie Style Podcast. You got to tune in. I had a great conversation with Richard Sterban of the Oak Ridge Boys. Really a cool guy. He's been with them for years and years and years. He's done not only a lot of singing, but boy, he's done baseball work. He used to sing with Elvis many years ago, from Elvis to Elvira. So I just want to encourage you to tune into the podcast here as I have a great conversation with Richard Sterban of the Oak Ridge Boys.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale, up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed, plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
All right, with me on Indie Style this morning here, we have Richard Sterban of the Oak Ridge Boys, band member. Richard, welcome to our show, and it's an honor to talk to you here this morning, so welcome aboard.
Well, thank you, Randy. It's my pleasure to be able to talk to you and to all your viewers out there as well. Yes.
Yeah. And you mentioned before we started the interview that you've been real busy here, traveling and doing a lot of things around the country, I guess. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, like most people, for well over a year, we were shut down. You know, it was a difficult time, not just for the Oak Ridge Boys, but for the whole music business. And not just the music business. I think everyone, pretty much every walk of life has been affected by this. And that included us. We were out of work. But thank the good Lord, things have changed. You know,
are you getting back closer to are you getting closer to normal now, or is there a normal?
In fact, almost the opposite direction, really. We here in the month of October and November and through December, we are going to be slammed, you know, which is a good problem to have. It's going to give us a chance to make up for some lost ground, if I could put it that way. You know,
and
I think people are ready to get out. I think people are ready to hear live music again, because live music is very healing. It really is. And it makes people forget about the troubles and their cares. And that's what we try to do as the Oak Ridge Boys, to help people with music, you know.
So how long have the Oak Ridge Boys been around?
Forever. There's not a group in the business that has more history than the Oak Ridge Boys. Yeah, it goes back to the Second World War, believe it or not.
Oh, my goodness.
And, you know, there was a group. If you have time, I'll tell you. I'll just catch up.
Go. I got plenty of time. Go ahead. I'm done for the day. Go ahead.
Okay. There was a group called the Georgia Clodhoppers back during the Second World War. And they would go to Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and entertain the people that were working on the development of the atomic bomb. It was called the Manhattan Project. You can read about it in your history books, you know. And the people that worked there could not leave for security reasons, but the Georgia Clodhoppers had security clearance, so they could go in. As a result of going there all the time on a regular basis, they changed their name to the Oak Ridge Quartet. And that group sang through the 1950s as the Oak Ridge Quartet, even became regular members on the Friday Grand Ole Opry right here in the old Ryman Auditorium right here in Nashville. Yeah. But then in the latter 50s, that group was disbanded and then reorganized as the Oak Ridge Boys. And that's obviously the name we retain to this present day. William Lee Golden, the guy in our group with the long beard, he was the first guy of this lineup to join in 1965, believe it or not. Wayne Allen came 1 year later, our lead singer, in 1966. I, believe it or not, was singing with Elvis in 1972 I left singing with Elvis, and I joined the Oak Ridge Boys in '72. And 1 year later, Joe Bonzo came in 1973. So we've been like this now since 1973.
What do you contribute to the success of the Oak Ridge Boys? I mean, everybody knows you. They love your music. You go so far back, and you keep going. What's the key to it?
Well, I think there's several keys to it. I think first and foremost, we love doing what we do. Yeah. I cannot stress enough. Last year, for well over a year, when we could not do what we were doing, we were not happy. We live for getting on stage, taking our music live to our fans and to our audiences. That's what we do. And so the love of that is the most important thing, And I already talked about our history. We have a sense of history, and we don't want the history to end as well. So we want to keep doing it. I think the good Lord above, will let us know when it's time to retire. But so far, all four of us, even though we're not kids any longer,
it's your passion in life.
It really is. And there's one other thing. We love the creative process of going into the studio and recording new music. Yeah. That also helps us and keeps us going. Last year here in Nashville, all the recording studios were shut down. It was a difficult time, but we're now being produced by a young guy named Dave Cobb. And if that name rings a bell, it's because he's probably one of the hottest guys here in Nashville right now. Okay. And one day he works out of RCA Studio A, which is probably the most historic recording studio here in Nashville. And he called us one day and said, fellas, I think we can record. The project that we've been putting off, I think we can probably get onto it now. And he said, and what I want to do, he says, I want to create the feeling of four guys just gathering on a front porch and just singing, just harmonizing in a very informal way. And that's what we were able to do. We cut a new album with Dave Cobb. We had to do all the protocols, social distancing and all that sort of thing. But we were able to record an album. And that's one of the things. Recording new music, I think, is as big as anything. That keeps us going. It really does. And so we have a new album now called Front Porch Singing. And I think it's important to note that it's not singing with a G. It's singing. There is a difference.
I also saw too in here that it's from Elvis to Elvira. Of course, that's your big song, Elvira. Everybody knows that song.
Well, I think that I am not a writer. I do not pretend to be a writer, but before I joined the Oak Ridge Boys, I sang with Elvis, and I sang with a group called J.D. Sumner in the Stamps Quartet. And for years, people have asked me, what kind of a guy was Elvis? What was it like singing? And so after talking about this for so long, I decided, maybe I should write some of this down. So I did. I got together with a good friend of mine, a guy named Steve Robinson, who's probably the best Elvis historian that I know. And he's a great writer. He's a great writer. And we wrote a book. And I think the title says it all. From Elvis to Elvira. I love the title. If you're an Elvis fan, there's great Elvis stories in the book. If you're an Oak Ridge Boys fan, there's great Oak Ridge Boys stories in the book as well. And I think the book kind of says it all. Believe it or not, it's my personal history. And I go back to my childhood days. But believe it or not, I know you would find this hard to believe right now. At one time, I was a boy soprano.
In Sunday school, right?
In Sunday, you got it right in Sunday school, yeah. And I talk about that in the book and how in junior high school my voice changed. In seventh grade I was still singing tenor in the Glee Club, and over the summer between seventh grade and eighth grade, my voice made a drastic change. And boy, did it! And the choir teacher could not see the difference. So she ended up putting me in the second bass section, and I've been there ever since.
Well, also, I see here, too, that you're involved in baseball. Are you part owner, or you have a lot of passion for baseball? Or?
I am a huge baseball fan. Yes, I am. And
what's your favorite team? Oh,
you can see from this jersey that I have on it.
Yeah.
We have a minor league baseball team here in Nashville called the Nashville Sounds.
Yep.
For 30 years, I was a part owner of the team. I am no longer an owner, but I still go out there all the time and get to know the players, go to batting practice, kind of hang out. And then along with minor league baseball, one of my big passions is college baseball.
Huh.
We have, if anybody knows anything about college baseball, you know that right here in Nashville, we have one of the best college baseball programs in the country. That's Vanderbilt. Vandy is a great, if you're a young kid, you want to play in the major leagues and also go to college, come to Vanderbilt. That's the place to come. There's no
I believe
doubt.
that. Yeah, in addition to singing and everything baseball, also I see too that you also enjoy tailored clothing. Is that correct? Or
Well, I used to. I for many years, I would go to New York a couple of times a year and go on a big shopping spree. And I hired a guy to be my fashion designer, if you want to call it that. He would help me pick out my stage wardrobes. I don't do that so much anymore. I think I learned enough from him that I can probably do it on my own now.
Okay.
But I'm interested in fashion as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to run out of time here pretty soon, but I got to ask you this here. You also have a long-standing interest in weather. Is that correct? Jim Cantori of the Weather Channel, he's your hero?
I've always been fascinated by the Weather Channel. It's always been one of my favorite channels, and I feel like I've gotten to actually know some of the people that are on the Weather Channel because I watch it so. And there's a expression that I've heard that if you turn the Weather Channel on and you see Jim Cantori on there, and if he is in your hometown, look out! You are in trouble.
That's great. Also, too, I see here where public service announcements, they've used your voice with NOAA. Is that correct?
I've done some public service announcements for NOAA Weather Radio, and those things, those weather radios, they can help save lives.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the most important thing. So I do that. I dabble in that. In fact, I've actually sat here on this very seat and plan to do it again shortly. I'm working with a lady that is a vocal coach and helping me to try to do some voiceover work, because I have a deep voice, and hopefully I'll eventually, maybe end up doing a few commercials. You never know.
Yeah, you keep on going. I always say keep on going.
You'll see 4 guys that are just chomping at the bits to get out there and do it, because it's really, really what we love doing. We want to help people with our music, and we feel like we can do that.
You do. I mean, Richard, I just encourage you to just keep on going. I'm 65, and I've always said I'm never going to retire. I just go on to something else, and I'm sure you guys do the same. You keep going.
We feel the same way, and I think the good Lord above will let us know, when it's time to hang it up. But all 4 of us are still experiencing good health for our age, and so we plan to keep doing it, certainly.
Yeah, I think that's good right here. Richard Sterban of the Oak Ridge Boys, thank you very much for your time, and blessings to you and all the guys in the Oak Ridge Boys, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Watch Indie Style weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Wish TV. Follow Indie Style on Facebook and connect for even more at wishtv.com.
This concludes our broadcast day.
For even more great podcasts, go to All Indiana Podcast Network.